Welcome to Expert Partner University, the knowledge you need to succeed. I'm Mark S.A. Smith, and in this program, you're going to learn about how to increase your profits. We're going to focus on how most companies lose profits and how to avoid them. Now, you're probably watching this program because you're either concerned about your profits and you want to figure out a way to increase them, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do. Or maybe you're looking at a way to help your customers increase their profits and you'd like to learn how to have that discussion. Either way, I know you're going to love this. Now I gotta warn you, in some of the parts of this program, it's going to involve math. Okay? Don't let that scare you. I'm going to walk you through number by number. But you'll still have to have those discussions with your customers if you want to talk about profits. You ready to go? Great. Let's start off by talking about what do we mean by profit. Well, it's the money that's available after all expenses before taxes. And profit really is it's the pot of gold at the end of your rainbow. And if you zoom in really tight on this, you'll see it says the beer store. That's the way some people like to spend their profits. So let's move on to the next slide. The margin is the difference between what you sell it for and what you pay for it. So profit is what you get to pay taxes on, and margin is what you have to run the rest of the business and pay taxes on and then have profit. Now the more your margin, the more your profit. So they're interrelated. I just want to make sure that we have some clarity that you know what I'm talking about when I say margin or profit. So what is it that you want? Did I hear you say more margin? Okay, you're probably the sales guy. Did you say more profit? Well, you're probably the owner. That's really the difference. So we're going to focus on both of those in this program. What drives profitability? Well, there's a number of things, and let's just take a quick look. Efficiency is top of the list. The more efficiently you can do things, the more profitable you become, especially in the face of less efficient competitors. Number two is demand. If there's a lot of demand in the marketplace, it means you get to charge more. Marketing 101. If you're sold out, you're too cheap. It's time to raise your prices. So in a high demand marketplace, you get to charge more, you create more profits. In a low demand marketplace, usually you have to trim back prices, which we're going to discuss in this program. That's not a good idea. It also trims profits, and actually it trims them substantially. So you want to create high demand everywhere you possibly can. Number three is expertise. People are willing to pay more to people who have a high level of expertise because they perceive it as being an easier engagement, an easier relationship. Things get done faster, more efficiently from their standpoint. They're willing to accept a higher price, therefore more profit for you. Number four is distribution. Can you get it there fast? Does it take a long time? There's more profits in more efficient distribution. We'll look at some ways of improving distribution later in this program, another part. Number five is buying savvy. How smart are you at buying what you need to get your job done? And are you buying cheap, therefore you have a lot of wastage, a lot of shrinkage, or are you buying quality, in which case you have a product that remains solid for a long time? Or are you looking for deals at the end of the month? You know, at the end of every quarter, everybody puts everything on sale. Do you wait for them to fill up your inventory? So savvy, smart buying is one of the ways that you can increase your profitability. Operation savvy, making sure that everything that you're doing is efficient and effective and that there's no wasted motion, there's no leakage, no leaks in the system where time and energy is going to something that doesn't contribute to the profitability of the company. And I'm going to show you a way to identify those leaks on an ongoing, continuous basis so that you maximize your operational profitability. And sales and negotiating savvy. If your salespeople are discounting every deal, you're giving away a lot of profit. And there's a clinical term for that. Yeah, stupid. So your salespeople need to understand how to keep more margin because you do not want to end up like this guy. How did I wind up here? I was the low bidder. No, we don't need that because you couldn't afford these programs if you were like this guy, so we don't want that. So what does profit really mean? What's the rationale for profit? Why do we have profit? Well, first of all, it repays you for your risk, your effort, and your skills. You didn't go to all that high school for nothing. You didn't go to all that college for nothing. You didn't go all that after college stuff for nothing. You're not watching this program for nothing. You need to be repaid for your investment in your education. And it makes the business viable in the long run. You can't run a business without profits. It just doesn't work. Unprofitable businesses go out of business. So if you want to do this for a while, I suggest you watch your profitability. And then it grows the business. Profits allow you to go to the bank and borrow money for capital expenditures, or you can invest the profits back into the company to grow the business. Either way, it gives you the money you need to go to the next level of profitability. It makes the business saleable. If sometime in the future you want to sell a business, a profitable business goes for a whole lot more money than an unprofitable business. Unprofitable business, if you think about it, it's just a liquidation sale. They're just dumping the assets. Profitable business, they're buying an operation. They're buying processes, procedures, customers, and even more profits into the future. And it creates leverage for future profits. Profits breed profits. That's a good thing. So where do most companies forego their margin? Where are they kind of cutting themselves off? Yeah. So the biggest source that I see working with the channel for the past 15 years is uncontrolled discounting, where salespeople give away margin just because that's what they believe is required. And let's look at this for just a moment. There's some insights for you. First of all, the impact of price cuts on profitability. Let's say that your operating margin is 25%. Now, that's a healthy margin. I agree, that is. If your operating margin is 25% and you cut your prices by 5%, you have to increase your sales by 25% to make the same number of dollars of profit prior to cutting the price. So a 5% cut in price means you have to sell 25% more to have the same number of dollars as you had before the price cut. And if you cut your price by 10%, it gets even worse, 67%. And if you cut your price by 20%, you have to increase your sales by 400%. And the question I have for you is, do you think that you could increase your sales by 400% by cutting your price by 20%? Probably not. I don't even think you could deliver 400% if you're involved in services. So cutting your price has a huge impact on your profit. So here's a winning philosophy on profitability, and that is every deal is either profitable or it's strategic or you walk away. Now, if the deal is going to be strategic, that's where you have a large account that you want to get your foot in the door, and you know that you can get a lot of business in there. If you can get your foot in the door, that would be a strategic deal, in which case all the players in your company concerned need to be involved in that decision. Or they just may be taking a deal from you and not want to do another thing. You have to make sure that you can deliver once you're in there. You got to nail it once you're in there, otherwise you're giving away profit for no reason at all. Or it's got to be profitable, or you got to walk away. And the reason why you want to walk away, have the ability to walk away, is the best way to drive your competition out of business is to let them have all of the unprofitable business. So if the competitor is going to take the deal, just make sure it hurts. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Next, another place where companies forego margin is inappropriate sales incentives. They might be incentivizing revenue versus incentivizing profit. No, we always want to compensate on profitability. And what you may want to do is consider taking the first discount from the salesperson's compensation. Here's what I mean by this. Now salespeople, don't get upset with me, because this really is a way to increase your income right away. And management, don't get upset with me, because this is a way for you to increase your profitability right away. Let's say that your average discount in the company is 7%. Okay? That's what it is. And what I'm talking about is granted discounts, not earned discounts. An earned discount is where a customer buys 20,000 of these things and you give them a 15% discount. Okay, that's earned. They have gotten that discount because they've bought a lot from you. Okay, that's earned. A granted discount is where the salesperson says, I tell you what, I'll knock off another 3% if you order before the end of the month. That's granted. It's not earned. So let's say that your average granted discount is 7%. So you increase your sales commissions by that 7% average. Salespeople, you like that idea? Yeah. But the first 7% discount that's granted, not the earned discount, but the granted discount, comes out of the salesperson's commission. What do you think is going to happen to your overall granted discounts? Yeah, it's going to go down, way down. And what you may do, management, is actually decide to split the difference. So if you have an average of 7% granted discounts, the first 3% comes out of the salesperson's ticket. It's still going to do the same thing, and both of you are going to find your prices are going to stay higher, your discounts are going to get a lot lower, your customers are going to get a lot happier because you're going to be selling value instead of price. That's what I mean by inappropriate compensation for salespeople. You make a lot of money with that idea. That brings us to the end of this part of the program. Move on to the next part for more.